How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. My name is Battery CEO. This is Sensei Finito. Welcome to Marvel Bros, where we cover all things Marvel and everything pop culture.
That is right. And on today's episode of Marvel Bros, we just got back from watching Malignant, James Wan's new movie, yo. Oh my gosh, this movie was a masterpiece to say the least. So, I don't know if you guys seen it. I don't know if you guys are new here, but the way we do things is whenever we see a new movie, we do a review, and in this review, we have 15 minutes non-spoiler, 15 minutes full-blown spoilers. So this movie was amazing. So we're gonna start the non-spoilery section of our video right now. So make sure you guys jump in the chat. If you've seen Malignant already, let us know. Battery, start us off, man. How are you feeling about this going into it?
Well, going in to see this movie, man, I was so scared. James
What's up,
Wan,
Bedrock? Love to see you in the chat already.
how's it going?
What's up, man?
James Wan, a very well-known horror movie director. I was very worried that I was going to be, not going to be able to watch most of it. Like, I know I was covering my face a couple times.
my boy was covering his face. I was like, look.
But what we got, man, was unlike anything I've ever watched in terms of horror, action, thriller, like
suspense.
The way there was certain shots that were unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
Oh my god, I know exactly
times, and the music did a very good job of putting us in the moment and really kind of feeling the suspense of what is about to happen. And unlike a lot of other traditional horror movies, you can kind of obviously people do dumb things,
Oh yeah.
But this movie, obviously they did that, but it was harder for us to kind of even think of what's going to happen next because of how they were telling the story and how they were working, I guess, the gears in the back. Yeah. There were things that were happening that were unbeknownst to us for the most of the movie, and it wasn't until the end where everything came full circle perfectly.
Full circle. Yeah.
I
couldn't agree more.
I'm just blown away, man. This movie was spectacular, and I just can't believe that our theater didn't have a big screen available for this movie.
Yeah.
This
would have been one of those ones that I would have loved to see at the IMAX at least. You know what I mean?
Because IMAX, this movie.
I know everything would have been amazing. Bedrock also said, "Oh shoot, I haven't seen it yet." Don't worry, man. We're not in the spoiler section yet, so we're not going to talk about any spoiler stuff from Malignant right now. This is all we're just talking about the movie, giving you our first reactions and letting you know how much we both truly appreciated this movie. And honestly, Hannah and Remy, they really enjoyed the movie as well. Everyone loved it. Like, we all came out of that movie feeling very satisfied, to say the least, because I mean, like Battery was saying, though, there was just moments in that movie where it was like, is this happening? Like,
this is actually happening.
You have to, if you're not paying, that's one of the movies where if you're looking down, when you look up again, you're not going to know what's going on. You know what I mean? You have to pay attention. And I know for us, at least, it kept us intrigued throughout the entirety of the movie from start to finish. We were glued to the screen trying to figure out what was going on and who was really what and what was this and that. And then at the beginning of the movie, there's a title sequence, I guess you could say. And that title sequence was awesome just to go into, you know what I mean? Everything about the movie really sucked you in. You're watching, what's going on? What's this? All the way down to the creators of the movie, the logos that were popping up at the beginning, the WB logo transitions into another logo. Everything about this movie from literally once it starts being the movie, you're like, whoa, what's going on? They kept you intrigued. The music was amazing, and it really kept that level of anticipation, I guess you could say. It really kept it up. In terms of horror movies, this is one of the best horror movies I think I've ever seen. Like, to be
Oh yeah.
completely honest, because the things like and the sheer story alone. I mean, the story
Oh,
alone
100%, man.
was impeccable, bro. Right? Like, wouldn't you agree? Like, I don't think we've had this type of storytelling in a
Yeah.
long time from a horror movie, especially.
Yeah. Speaking of that, in terms of horror, this is definitely it's James Wan, so it's a scary movie, you
Mhm.
know, but it's scary on a different level, not like on the
Yes.
Conjuring or the Sinister type thing. They definitely utilized the story more than they did the horror aspect in this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
However, the way they used it to get us primed for like the later half of the movie was brilliant because there's a point where like you can like okay, we're in a scary horror movie vibe, you know, and then there's a transition. There's just a spot where like shit
It turns
just goes
into a
down.
complete.
Yeah, and we
it's,
were like, yo,
it's like
what is
what the.
happening?
We just kept looking at each other like,
Yeah,
and we just couldn't. We couldn't even grasp what we were seeing in front of
yeah,
us. We were like, bro, like what's happening right now?
no, yeah. We
Who is?
like at one point
Oh,
I was like, yo, is this an Avengers like a
Better
Marvel movie?
Bedrock said, "I'm gonna go watch the trailer once you guys get to the spoiler section." Oh, definitely.
We have a trailer
I
reaction.
think we also have a trailer. Yeah, we have a trailer reaction to it as well. Um, and let me say first and foremost that trailer did no justice for how good this
Oh
movie
no,
actually is.
no.
Like, that is like the trailer got us super invested, super interested.
Mhm.
We really wanted to see this movie because of the trailer.
Yeah,
And unlike a lot of the other trailers that we've been seeing, this movie actually spoiled 0%
yeah,
of the movie.
nothing.
Like 0% of it. And it was like, oh yeah, like it was it I know for me it felt good, and I know for you it had to feel good too, because we are always getting stuff ruined for us from these
Yeah,
trailers. Even when we went and saw Shang-Chi, like it was like, ah, man, we already know what's going on. We didn't get to get that big, yeah, like you know what I mean? Like it was
yeah,
like, oh yeah, let's go. But there wasn't like a super pumped upness because they showed it in the trailer already. But with this, bro, there was none of that. Like we were
yeah.
completely invested.
This
Um,
I will say the trailer, like I said before, I think just shows you the primer, the primer for
yes,
what's gonna go down, and even that, it did not spoil anything in our opinion.
yeah,
I know
nothing.
we watch movies all the time, so we like critically think about things, and like I know you saw something early on that I didn't, but I
Yeah.
kind of knew as well. I just didn't know for sure because again,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of this movie is a mystery. Honestly,
Oh yeah,
like there's so
straight
many
up.
questions that you're gonna ask as an audience member watching this,
This movie is a
and that's awesome.
mystery horror thriller action. Like
Yeah,
it's
for real.
like there's it don't you don't even know what to do, and all you can do literally is just hold on for the ride,
Yeah,
because the movie is going to constantly have you, one, questioning yourself, two, questioning what the hell is going on in the
yep.
movie, because you're like, wait, hold on, what? Like,
It's
and
wild.
I think that this story is so good because it weaved in multiple movie aspects.
Hmm.
So the story the story was a horror. It was an action. It was a mystery. It was a thriller. So it didn't make the movie feel like a bunch of movies in one
Yeah,
necessarily. I guess like it
it
made you
blended
just feel
everything
like
perfectly.
you're following it. It's paced. It's on beat.
Hmm.
It was just wonderful, yo.
Yes.
I don't think I can say anything bad about this movie. Like there was the CGI, because there is some CGI in the movie. It was beautiful. Like
Mhm.
everything was beautiful, bro.
Like just like it added to the aesthetic of the whole movie. So even though it's not like high quality stuff that we see in like Marvel movies and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
it added a piece, an extra layer to the movie in this particular instance. Um, and adding on to what Sensei was saying was with all the different genres in one seamless movie, you could definitely feel like I felt like I was watching Jeepers Creepers, the first one,
Mm-hmm.
Terminator 1, There were some hints
Mm-hmm.
there. Like, there was like I saw different things come together from movies that we've watched growing up in terms of horror. And oh man, like I just can't. I'm just so happy we got to see this. Uh, I know one of the things that we talked about was like, oh man, we didn't take the time to go see Brightburn when it first came out, but and then
Mm-hmm.
we watched it later on at home, and we're like, wow, I wish we could have seen this in theaters. Like this movie is badass, and I
This.
cannot stress that enough because literally, not only that, like this movie, like sometimes you go to movies, the crowd will be a little more talkative. And even
Mm-hmm.
though, like, and sometimes it's annoying, but then sometimes it just goes along with the movie and adds to the movie
Mm-hmm.
experience. An example of that would be maybe Avengers Endgame, or
Yeah,
even in
definitely.
other horror movies. It's
Yeah.
kind of that same vibe, a little more talkative because you have people asking questions, people reacting. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like there was a dude sitting next to us that was laughing and like, you know, uh, enjoying himself just like how we were.
Mm-hmm.
We were like,
Yeah.
no shot, right? And then he just like enjoying loud, and then like it would be all quiet, and then you just hear me going, uh, I was like, what did I say? I said a lot of shit in this movie.
My man was my man. My man battery was
Yo,
going in
I was
throughout
like,
the movie,
why the
and it
fuck?
was hilarious. It
I
was like, what
was,
the fuck? Are we in the 1980s right now? Like, it was
yeah.
just, it
Everyone
was
just
just.
has giant box radios for no reason. Like, why is this locked from 1845? Like, I don't understand. Like, what? Uh,
No, for real. And I think even the background characters, so to speak, they even set the tone for the
oh yeah,
movie so well. And then even with the new characters that get added throughout the movie and the one and so on, they really add substance and character growth
yeah.
and depth to the main characters that we get, like at the
Mhm.
start of the movie. And like like Battery had said too, at one point in this movie it just turns, it's just, you
You're
just
just
don't
like,
know
okay,
what's, you're just
this is
like, what the
not.
fuck, like literally, like I really advise for everyone to watch this movie, like for sure. See it in the theater if you can, for sure. See it in the IMAX if you can, because I know that experience
Yeah.
is completely different from the one that we had, and the one that we had was amazing.
I will. Okay. Last thing I'll probably say is, uh, again, this movie blew me away. It really did.
Mhm.
Um, in terms of, I guess the only gripe I had is I felt like we could have seen a little bit more towards in the end, in terms of more,
Yes.
uh, like figuring out what happens to certain people or certain
Hmm.
things. Like, okay, like does someone get in trouble? Like, there's certain questions that I
Yeah.
wish we got
Is there any
answered.
accountability for the things that have
Yes.
just transpired?
Yeah. And like again, uh, you were not ready. Okay,
You're not ready.
you're not fucking ready. Like,
Like, all the stuff that we're saying, if you think that we're painting any kind of scene for you, we're really not painting, like,
there
we're
was like a
barely
whole
scratching the surface, yo.
10 minutes of us just going like, "Oh God, oh no, what is happening? What is this? Is not happening right now. There's no shot, right? There's no shot. Like
Yeah.
literally, the whole theater was going nuts. I'm not even, yeah,
Like everyone was just like, "What's? Oh, what the? Oh my god! What? Who
yes,
is?"
for like
Who?
the
Like
whole,
everyone, everywhere.
oh,
Like we like there was no way that you could not be just invested in what was going on. I mean, talk about stakes being high, and you really feel the pressure of what's going
yeah,
on. You're really seeing step by step, moment by moment, these characters and then shit just going down. It's like you, if you blink, you miss something. Like, because it was just so fast.
mhm,
And yeah, and then it doesn't slow down for about those, like, that 10-15 minutes. Like, it was
yeah,
just no
yeah,
stop, bro, no breaks, like almost to the end of the movie, almost. Like,
yeah. Like,
um I think the only this movie did something that we were really complimenting Shang-Chi on, and and that is weaving together everything even if it's going to the past. You know what I mean? It weaved it all together very, very well
Yeah.
to the point where you're not like, wait, what is this wait, huh? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you're confused, you're supposed to be confused. It's not it, bro. This movie was impeccable, man. I really, really loved this movie. I don't think I've had such a good time in a theater in a while. I can't remember what the last movie we were talking about that we had a really good time in. I can't remember what movie it was, to be honest. It wasn't. Was it Space Jam that we were talking about? We just had a good time in the
Oh yeah,
theater.
Space Jam was just a fun movie, man. We were,
Yeah, because like everyone was like really
there was adults, but then there was
involved.
kids. You know, we were just having a good time,
Mm-hmm.
reacting, laughing, talking. You know, so
And that's how this movie kind of felt, but with the horror aspect. Like there was no kids in the theater, of course,
yeah.
but it was just like everyone was like, "Oh my god!" Like everyone was trying to figure out what was going on with their own movie groups that they were with as well. So it just made it a really fun experience. To be completely honest.
And there was a point, and I just can't remember now. It was like, we were sitting there, right? Someone's standing in the middle of a doorway, dark as, and like they just stand there, and I'm like, and like she looks, and I'm like, it's all quiet. And you just hear me go, "There's no fucking shot," and then everyone around me and us just start laughing. I was like, "Yo, there's no shot, right? Like,
There's no fucking
like, yo, I'd jump out the damn window. There's no way,
like, bro.
what?
There's no fucking way that this is just happening right now.
Yeah, like you're not just gonna stand there, right? Like, I mean, oh man." And I'm not talking trash about the movie. Like everything they did played to the story so well.
It played to the story. So like every gripe you might have with this movie, it will be answered and solved by the end. Like through the movie, because I know through the movie, because that's just like you were saying how we are. We just kind of analyze and critique movies as we watch them because this is what we do. You know what I mean? So as I'm watching the movie, I'm seeing stuff and I'm like, bro, if they don't pay that off, I'm gonna be upset. You know, if they don't pay this off, I'm gonna be upset. Like,
and they did that really early on.
They paid it. Yeah. No, you're right. They did do that really early on, and then they kept it. It was like a reoccurring theme until it was magnificent. Magnificent.
Yeah.
James Wan did a damn good job. I would love to see him come and direct a Marvel movie or something, to be completely honest, I would love to see him come in and like do like a Ghost Rider or something like that. That would be impeccable. I already know because the way that movie was constructed, it was just, oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. Go see this movie, guys. This movie was awesome. Before we get into spoilers, I just can't reiterate enough. This movie, you guys have to see in theaters. If you guys can only watch it in HBO Max, then watch it in HBO Max because wow.
Yeah. But if you have the chance to go to the theater, make sure you do. Make sure you do. So before we get into the spoiler section, bro, what would you give this on the Marvel Bros scale? Out of 5.
I'd give it a 5, man.
5 out of 5?
Give it a goddamn 10. Like, oh my god.
I agree with you 100%. I was gonna say I agree with you 100%.
I just was not ready, man. I went into the theater ready to watch an entirely different movie.
Yes.
And like that trailer bamboozled the shit out of us.
Oh yeah.
Yet it got us so intrigued and excited to watch this movie. Unknowingly putting us in a different realm from what we initially thought. Like we thought we were going to the quantum realm, we went straight to hell. Like that, like what?
Yeah, straight to hell.
I just can't. You guys need to go check out this movie, man. In terms of spoilers,
Bedrock said, all right, I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go watch it in theaters. Make sure you watch it in theaters, bro. We appreciate everybody that's been here up until this part. I'm pretty sure we gonna lose some of y'all because it's going spoilers, yo.
Yeah,
we're going
because like you have to go in
spoilers, yo.
Bone dry for this movie to really enjoy it. So I would highly recommend if you haven't watched it, please leave. We love you. We appreciate you. leave a like, subscribe, share, do all
All
that
that
great
good stuff.
But you guys,
But come watch this part after you leave, like after you're done watching the movie.
Right,
my man Bedrock said, "See you guys later. Peace." Yep,
yeah.
much love to you, my
Thanks,
man.
man.
Make sure you come back and watch the next half because, this next half we're going heavy spoilers, yo. Like we want you guys to know we're about to talk about this movie. And it's going to ruin the movie if you haven't seen the movie. I'm just letting you know. I'm just gonna let you know, because So I'll give y'all a couple of seconds because this movie is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I definitely give it a 5 on the Marvel Bros scale, though. Like you were saying, this movie hit every single box. Like it checked it. Like for sure, it checked every single box, yo. And every single box just it checked boxes that I didn't even have on my sheet. Like
what?
I was like, what the shit? What just happened? Is this a completely different movie right now? And it was like, no, yeah, I am a completely different movie right now. And I just did not know, bro. I wasn't prepared whatsoever.
Yeah, our mental game was not ready.
Our mental game was not ready, bro.
Not ready.
I didn't know. Like that's how I feel. Like I feel like they just didn't warn me. Like you know what I mean? Like it's not my fault because I just didn't know. If you guys are just now tuning in, we are now in the spoilers section of our Malignant movie review.
Spoilers. All right.
Big spoilers, yo. All right, Battery. Start us off, my man. What is the first thing that you got to talk about, my guy? What's on your mind?
This movie starts off right away. All right.
Yeah.
Some movies like The Conjuring, The Sinister, they take their time.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, no. Immediately right off the rip, pop, head gets smacked in like our main character gets slammed into a wall, which and smashed in the back of her head. Yeah. And I don't know about for you, that I did feel like that was the damaged head meant something to me for some reason.
Yes,
I didn't know
definitely.
what exactly because again we were just not ready for what we were going to watch. But for whatever reason, I think we both can say we both had that means something. We're not too sure yet.
For real.
I didn't realize, and again, we didn't know what we were getting into. Like with the boyfriend. Like for him just to get smacked so fast the way that it happened.
He got smacked immediately, bro. I was super not ready for him to get smacked like that, yo. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And it was
we didn't think it was like by that point we still thought it was like a Conjuring Sinister, right? Like we thought
that's where the most horror vibes came from. Like
maybe the first 30 to 40 minutes, maybe. Mm-hmm. And after that, there's just a switch.
Yeah, definitely.
Like an entire switch. Like we're in the first act, right? And it probably feels like we start the second act because it just gets right into it, and then like, boom, we're in the third act the rest of the way.
The rest, you said that perfectly. We skipped the second act completely. There was no second act. Like it was just first, third. Like.
It was wild, man. Like the deaths that we see in this movie are some of the most violent that I've seen in theaters before. Because I've seen some violent movies, but I haven't seen that type of gore in a movie before. For this type of movie, because I've seen some messed up things in some other movies, like Green, I don't know. It's like these people. I don't get into it. It's kind of disgusting. It's just such a disturbing movie. But anyways, the deaths were awesome, But what? I don't know. There's just so much to talk about. But I don't want to. Talk about everything.
Yeah, I want to talk about everything too. I think one of my favorite things about the deaths was the transition that we got to see
That's a good point.
the girl becomes super paralyzed, so to
Mhm.
speak, and then that transition of her going in, like her being there
All of a
at her
sudden,
own
yeah.
house, and then all of a sudden being at the crime scene
Mhm.
as it's taking place, and
Mhm.
having a literal front row seat and looking at everything that's going on,
Mhm.
but not being able to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like that was, oh my gosh, it was. I think that was beautiful. Like that was
Oh no. Did I get kicked out? I might have gotten kicked out. Oh no no no. Okay, we're good. We're good.
no, I see you. Yeah, it
Okay.
said that it's having some issues.
uh, adding on to what you were saying though, the beginning of the movie, we're at a huge, creepy looking mental hospital. I think it's a psychiatric hospital and research facility. And
Mhm.
the way that what we see in that beginning sequence sets a totally different vibe from what we're expecting. You know,
Yes.
definitely like, okay, there's a monster. There's something like a beast of some sort. And like they just, I don't know, the way they set up the movie to like trick us, so to speak, was again brilliant.
Mhm.
Because later on we do find out what that beast actually is or was. Um, how'd you like that? How that kind of unfolded throughout the movie?
I think that was like one of my favorite kind of aspects that they had in the
Mhm.
movie is how they set it up in the beginning with the monster.
Mhm.
And then that monster being a monster for real. Like,
Yeah,
so whenever we saw the monster come back up, we knew, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, I think in the beginning they even call him Gabriel, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, they call the monster Gabriel. And then, like, so once we hear that name again, it's like, oh, wait,
yeah.
what? Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm.
that's Gabriel from what?
From the
Oh,
beginning, like,
like,
oh, what? Like, how
yeah,
is he
it's like,
alive? You know?
exactly. So they did a very good job of like you said, setting that tone for, hey, this is a horror movie, but is it a horror movie? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, because that's kind of the vibe that I got from that beginning. And then when it switched into the title card, the whole title sequence is just very confusing at the beginning.
yeah.
You know
Because you
what I
don't know
mean? Like, yeah, you don't know what the hell that any of it
unless
means.
you know what malignant means.
Yeah, it is a. I can't.
Hannah just told
I
me, and
know.
I was like, what?
Yeah, because I know me and Remy. Because I know Remy knew what it meant, and then I think I had looked it up before we went. But
I
it's a
think it's
doctor. It's like a medical term,
yeah,
isn't
it's a
it?
medical term for like a cancer or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which cancer does come up in this movie, as being like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could say it's the monster itself, possibly. Um, so malignant cells can invade and destroy nearby tissue and spread to other parts of the body. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and they took that and fucking ran a marathon with it.
Yeah.
Uh,
James Wan had
yo,
a field day.
yo,
Talk about a director having fun making a movie. Like, I think that's what we got to see from this Suicide Squad, like Shang-Chi. A lot of these movies are obviously just directors having fun.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They're telling beautiful stories, but they're
Hmm.
having a blast doing it.
Hmm. Um, and that monster that we do see, I thought looked amazing. Most of it looked like it was practical effects, which was even better.
Yes.
It didn't feel like I was looking at a computer. Um, Another thing that I want to add is in our non-spoiler part, we talked about some of the shots that we got. A lot of overhead shots of people running through buildings and looking from like a third
Bro,
person or like a is that what first person
the top,
or
it's
third
just
person?
top down. I don't
Yeah,
think that's a
I don't know how
that
to
doesn't
describe
have
that.
a, yeah, it's like the top down arcade games that you have.
Yeah.
Like we saw it from the blueprint of the house, basically. Like
Hmm.
we've never seen cinematic shots like that.
Yeah.
Remy
And-
said malignant means
oh yeah,
super
super
infectious
infectious.
and invasive, or
Yep.
base invasive. Yeah, that was definitely that shit for sure.
Yep.
That shit was definitely super infectious and invasive.
Hmm.
I mean, yo, I think I think being able to really appreciate that difference, the different scenery and cinematography that we got,
Hmm.
it made the movie so much better. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like even
100%.
the shots you were just talking about, that even ties into the movie of, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like her seeing her, like the top down image that we see of her is basically like how he is seeing everything going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it just tied everything in so well,
Mhm.
so well.
And then on top of that, like we saw scenes like that, the top down, then all of a sudden the transition of, everything coming down and her all of a sudden becoming locked in a different place that she's not originally at. And
Yeah.
at first we were kind of like, what is going on? Like this is like we're just so confused, but so intrigued and
Mhm.
excited to figure out what's going on, and so many questions are being thrown at us, so many questions are like we're asking so many questions and we're just trying to figure it out, you know? Um and that was awesome to experience, I think, and that gave this movie an even better vibe than what I initially thought. Because a lot of movies are just kind of like, it's just like that other horror movie. But this movie felt
Yeah.
very original. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before in terms of a movie, you know. So I felt that it was refreshing.
At
I didn't
no
feel like it
point
was
did I know this was going to be a slasher, you
oh,
know?
100%.
Like
Um,
I never expected that from this
mhm.
movie. And once it turned into a slasher instead of like
The
the horror
Conjuring, or
turned
yeah,
into the Conjuring turned into Scream basically.
yeah,
Like that's the best way like I can like
yep.
and once that transition happened it was like
It was
and
like
then once we
screaming.
started actually seeing the detective work as well, I was like,
Mhm.
holy shit, what is happening? I
Yeah,
was like, what is this movie,
yeah.
bro? Like the police presence in this movie made a completely different vibe. It set a whole new tone. It made you just feel a whole new way, bro. And
Mhm.
I just wasn't prepared.
Yeah, it was like I lost my train of thought. I apologize, but it was some pretty profound stuff that I was going to say. Uh but what's it called? The monster. It was like
Hmm.
Scream, Freddy Cougar, and
Oh yeah.
what's another mind? I think those two combined made the villain that we basically got in this movie, you know? Because a lot of it's mental, but like
Mhm.
it's also happening in real life, and it's just I don't know. This movie is so it's just next level, man.
Once we got the jail cell scene, we we just didn't need, like it was already in the it was the movie was amazing, but once the jail cell scene
Yeah,
happened, everything that transpired after that made the movie perfect.
because there was a chase, which was one of the best chase scenes I've ever
One of
seen
the
in
best
all of
chases.
Hollywood. Like, and this is two people, like the main detective and our main villain. We don't know who the main villain is yet. We know what his face looks like. We know what Gabriel looks like, but we don't know who,
Mhm,
like, why he's walking backwards and doing everything backwards. We're not sure why, you know.
mhm.
Uh, but that chase scene in the movie, once you watch, you'll know what we're talking about. There's parkour. There's like jumping off
Yeah.
entire buildings into trash can, like going underneath the underground of Seattle. Like it was some dark like parkour, and it was amazing.
And I
Uh,
really love the utilization of the supernatural
yeah.
type of vibe to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
It was almost unbelievable to watch, honestly, because I've never seen
uh
something like that.
the Grudge. The Grudge.
Yes.
That's what, yeah.
Oh yeah. Scream,
The
Freddy Krueger,
Grudge.
Grudge, 100%.
Yeah.
Like that's the vibe,
100%, yo.
the vibe we
Yeah.
get. And
And
then once that chase is over, there's a bunch of stuff that adds to the story, and then we get the prison scene. All right,
yo.
this I don't know what you were thinking at that moment, but I was like, as things were being unveiled to us, I was like, yo, every single one of these bitches is about to die. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, there's no way this is not
I didn't
happening.
think all of them were gonna die.
Oh,
That I didn't. I just thought I knew for sure the two bitches that were messing with her were gonna go down for sure. And I thought everybody else was gonna be like be in awe watching or some shit. But nah. That movie turned into
killing everyone.
I'm killing every motherfucker that stand in my way. Like they're getting it unequivocally.
Yes. And this is in the whole ass police station, by the way. And by the way, this movie, like in terms of setting, I was like, yo, we're in fucking Gotham.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. Like there was like storms and lightning. Even though it was Seattle, I was like, this is 100% in Gotham. I was just waiting for Batman to swing in and like save them. I really
literally
was.
Though.
Like,
literally, everything about it seemed like a Batman-esque. Like even the slasher dude, like
could have been Robin.
The detective, he could have been Robin, or he could have been. Have you ever watched Gotham, like the show Gotham?
I haven't.
Okay. He reminds me of Commissioner Gordon as a police officer still. Like when he, like the main dude, because Gotham is basically like the main. There's two main characters really, and that's Commissioner Gordon as a police officer though, because he just gets to Gotham, and then of course Bruce Wayne. But the cop in this hella made me think about the cop, like the dude that played the cop on Gotham, like 100%. And I just could not get over it. And even the way that what's it called?
His partner?
The office or the police station, like where all the police are. I don't know what that room's called, but where all of the police, like
where all their desks are at, and it's just
all
a
the
big
desks
open hall.
is there. Yes,
open like huge building, and like
even that looked dead on, like from the Gotham show though. Like it looked like that precinct
with the lightning coming in through the window. Oh, bro, like it was like if you watch the movie, you understand what we mean.
Yeah, definitely.
But just the whole vibe of the movie in terms of like the set pieces, man. Like we looked at the house and I was like, I am not living in that house. Like you go in and you look at the house and turn when the lights are off, and I was like, there's no shot. Why would I even go downstairs in the dark like that? Like
exactly
in a house like that, and the sets that we got, there's no way I'd put myself in the situation where I'd be in those places, because they visually discomforted me. And they're just houses. Like, like I just got oh my God. Like I was just in awe of a lot of everything, almost, and pretty much this whole movie. And then after the jail cell
murders scene, all of the women in the jail scene,
it just continues to escalate. Like,
like moment by moment, like Gabriel just becomes the ultimate slasher. Honestly, I don't think we've ever seen a slasher in any movie go like, I don't think we've seen this much death come from in one movie come from a slasher. Like he literally took out everyone.
Entire department. The entire Seattle Police Department just dies.
He murdered everyone.
It showed every bit of it. And like, again, this was like a solid 10 minutes of people just dying. And all of us in the theater were going like, no way that this is happening right now. We were just so in shock. And like, these dudes were getting stabbed in the throat and people were just dying. It was
one
like
dude literally got like stabbed in the mouth through his face. And like, as soon as it happened, it just like gave you a 360 view of the knife being protruding from his head.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like, what the fuck?
Like, just
what?
Let me just, this is in a perspective in terms of what it was like if you haven't watched the movie and you're still here. Like, the monster basically at this point, which we kind of know now is basically a part of our main character.
Yeah.
Like, again, stabs officer in the face, uses his body, takes shot to not get shot by bullets. All of a sudden does a 360 no scope backflip backwards, cuts someone's hands off, throws a chair at someone else, avoids a shotgun, then cuts an entire head off, then groups someone in half. Like it just kept going. Yo,
literally, it reminded me of like, I felt like it was Ezio in Assassin's Creed, just murdering everyone around you. Just when all the Templars are surrounding you, and you're just like just taking out everyone back. Like that's what it was.
Blocking everything,
100%. Like
killing everyone in your path. It was next level.
Yeah.
Like it was unlike anything that I've seen before of that scale. And
Yeah.
I've only ever
No,
seen that type of
definitely.
stuff in video games.
100. That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say as well. Like, and it's like the scenes that we see from games like Arkham Asylum, like Arkham Asylum and shit like that, like the Spider-Man game, like I was just saying, Assassin's Creed,
Yeah.
like that's the type of brutality that we saw of just
Hmm.
one after another. I'm murdering you all. Like there's nothing you can do about this. You're gonna die 100%. And if you're not ready, then it doesn't matter because you're dying anyway. Because it was, yeah, that movie, yeah, it was just ridiculous. I loved the background story that was going on. Like
Oh,
I was said earlier, it kind of reminded me of Shang-Chi, the way the backstory was just perfect the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I loved that. Yeah, I really loved that.
another thing that was pretty awesome that I forgot to mention earlier is the weapon. That this
Yeah.
obviously the monster, this monster, which is a part of our main character,
Mm-hmm.
in some way, if you watch, you'll understand what I mean by that. Uh, is a trophy basically, and this
Mm-hmm.
trophy is basically a knife with wings, and like the way that he made it was just, I felt like he had a lightsaber. I mean, did I like
Literally,
uh, the things that he did with that knife were
he
brilliant.
reminded me of Razor Fist from Shang-Chi.
Oh,
The
you're right.
dude, yeah, bro, that's super what he reminded me of.
If we
I
were able
was
to
like,
see,
oh yeah,
like, if Razor Fist killed the entire everyone in that bus and we got to see it, that's what we got in this movie.
that's what would have, yeah,
Yeah.
for real, because it was, bro, like,
It was some dark stuff, and like,
but for real, that was one of the best weapons I've seen be created in them. Like all of it, it was just so good. It was what's it called? It was um not artistic, but that's like the type of word that I want to use. It was
yeah.
artistic, yo. It was just crazy.
Hmm. Uh, and then after that whole area, we get to the end of the movie. We start to get to our conclusion. We start to see answers that we were looking for, in terms of, okay, like what is actually this monster? How is this monster connected to her? How
Hmm.
has it affected her in her past? And I thought, once we get into that middle of the third act, they start really kind of answering all these questions simultaneously, amongst while people are just being slaughtered in this police station, and it just made sense. And I felt everything was paced perfectly. I didn't feel once that this is like being rushed. And even though I know we said like the beginning just gets going, like it gets
Hmm.
going in a way to where like it makes sense, and
Oh yeah,
it's not like we're just skipping everywhere and like, okay, like why is this happening? Like what just happened?
exactly.
There was maybe one moment where I kind of was like, oh, I kind of wish I would have saw how her, like someone might have gotten out of the building, because we see
What
someone go into a
building?
creepy ass building. Remember, her sister goes into like the big asylum, grabs the files, and then we don't.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We
I
don't
was
see the.
like, she's gonna die. Like, there's no
Yeah,
shot. And that was one of the moments where I was like, when the whole theater was quiet, I was like, oh fuck no. And like everyone
yeah.
around me was like, yo, they started like that was one of those moments. But like, she finds the stuff, we hear a sound, and then it shows her looking at the video with her mom back at the farmhouse. You know, that was maybe the one moment where I wish I could have saw maybe her leave and try
Yeah.
and get out, like, because it made it. But like I said, there's points in
No,
this
that
movie.
that whole scene right there was kind of confusing to me as well because I was like, how the fuck did it just get dark? Like it
Yeah.
was just sunny and then now it's dark. It took her 10 hours to get up that hill. Like
Mhm.
what the hell was that? And then boom, she's back at the house and it's sunny again with
Yeah.
her mom. I was like, bro, what?
But in this movie also, like a lot of horror movies, things happen, certain things happen, and that the characters in those movies are going to do a certain thing. Like, they hear a sound in a closet, dark as shit. I'm gonna go walk in that closet and see what it is, and then die. Like, like that's
Yeah.
just, you just know because of like common horror movies. And this movie does that, but nothing happens. So it
Hmm.
leaves you on a level of suspense unlike any other horror movie. Uh, and the way that like end up showing us how they actually die, and like how they actually show us what's happening in that scene, adds more character to our main character, adds more
Yeah.
character to our beast, and it opens up so many more avenues for all the characters that we have in this movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. What's up with the Kosh?
Hey,
And I
how's it
said,
going?
yo, I'm free for 12 minutes. Well, we're in the spoiler section of our Malignant review right now, my brother. So if you haven't seen this movie,
Yeah,
my G, I skip that diddly dee.
yeah. Um,
Um, but yeah, bro, I agree with you. I agree with everything that you're saying, though, man. I couldn't I couldn't believe the 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 sheer depth that they gave every single character.
yeah,
Um, every single character had depth, like every
yes,
single one of them, and
yeah.
I couldn't even believe it, bro. It was just, it was unbelievable, man. That movie was unbelievable. I loved it, start to finish,
hmm
100%.
Uh, the ending. I'm not going to tell you what happens verbatim for the ending, but
Mm-hmm.
the ending was great. I thought for sure other things were going to happen, but it didn't. Um, and I think the other only gripe I have is with the ending itself, because it is one of those movies that just kind of ends. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you just kind of have to take it for what it is and kind of guess and what you think would happen
Yeah.
after the events that follow. You know, because I think a lot of the families of those officers definitely be like, "Oh no, someone's gonna pay for this, like for
Yeah.
what they did." Like at one point, someone said, "Call the National Guard." That's how bad it was.
Yeah. Call the fucking National Guard because we can't do anything about
Yeah,
this.
like they won't need to
I
back
mean,
up.
all the police were dead. They couldn't even. The
Like
only,
the only backup would be from the next precincts, however far away they would be, or
or
all the
any other
officers that
cops
are on
that
the
were,
street. Yeah,
yeah, exactly, on the
and they would
street
have
at the
died.
time.
They
And
would
they
have
would
all
just
just
been
died.
dead. Yeah.
Uh,
Um. Real quick, Akash said, "How can I watch Shang-Chi? There's no cinema in my town. I want to
ooh,
watch." Um. Well, Shang-Chi, like all the rest of the Disney movies that we're getting, have a 45-day theatrical exclusive release, I
yes,
believe.
and
So you
I
won't be able to see it until like next month on Disney Plus. And I think you still have to pay for it,
yeah, and even
even
then,
at that point.
I don't even know if they're going to be doing that because it's doing so well. I don't know if they're going to want to open it up. I know it's
Hmm.
doing so well to the point where they for sure aren't going to be putting Eternals on Disney Plus
Yeah.
for the time
I
being.
think I think it said there's like a four. I think everything's
But I'm
getting
pretty
like a
sure it's 45 day.
45
Yeah.
day exclusive theatrical release.
hmm
So I think right now it's been like 2 or 3 weeks for Shang-Chi, maybe I think 2 weeks for Shang-Chi.
I think
So
it's
you
this
have
week too. Yeah.
so you have another 3 weeks, I think, before you can check it out on Disney Plus. You might
It's
be
gonna be
able to
rough,
check it
man.
out on one of those sites or something, but
Yeah.
I don't know any. I don't know any of those or anything, bro. So sorry about that, my man.
Yeah, that
But
really sucks, bro.
yeah.
With that
Um,
said, go check out this movie, guys.
yeah,
This movie was a treat. It really was. We went in there expecting to get a piece of chicken, but we came out with a filet mignon. Like,
filet
yes,
mignon, my G.
yes,
That is the best,
with like the
bro.
top
We thought we
notch
were going in
caviar.
to get regular top ramen. You
Yeah,
feel me? And we walked out with a full blown crab lobster dinner. Like,
yeah. No, for
like
real.
Jesus, man. Like, I don't. I haven't been this baffled by how good a movie is in
It's
a
been a while.
long time. Like I am truly taken back by how good this movie was. And
Yeah,
I think anyone that says anything different might just be a hater. Like low key.
yeah,
I think this is one of those movies to where if you don't like it, you're just a hater. Like I'm
yeah,
sorry. Like this is just one of those movies, man.
yeah,
Like there's not a lot of those movies that you get to where it's like, oh no, I can see how that bothered you. Nah, I can't see how anything in this
yeah.
movie could have bothered you. Like, I just can't. and there's nothing you're going to be able to do to change my mind. Like,
Yeah.
if you tell me you don't like this movie, I'm going to be like, bro, you didn't watch the same movie I watched then.
Yeah. Or you just don't like this type of movie, you know?
Yeah,
And that's
period.
fine. But again, this movie was just unbelievable. Go check this out, guys. Go support your local theaters, your local whatever you guys have. Regal, we appreciate you guys for bringing us this movie. It was amazing.
We love you guys at Regal, yo.
Yes.
We're about to be big Regal exclusive here in a minute.
But go check.
Could you imagine? We're the freaking guys that you watch at the beginning freaking talk about some Captain Explorer.
That'd be next level, bro.
That would be next level, bro. Like, what's up, guys? We're Marvel Bros. Welcome to the theater. Like, I hope you enjoy your movie. That shit would be amazing.
100%. But that's about all I got. You guys have to go check this movie out because, again, we did go over some spoilers, but we didn't tell you every little detail that you just have to go in to experience for yourself because it is unbelievable.
This movie is hands down the best horror movie I have ever seen, and I don't even know if we can even call it a horror movie. It's so good. Like, I don't even know what this movie has created its own genre.
No, for real. I'm thinking about it.
There's no movie that we could put in this. We could put this movie in other categories, but we can't put any movie in the category of this movie. You know what I mean?
Like, it's very similar to how like John Wick created Gun Fu. You know, this movie did that in its own right, but obviously we can't call it Gun Fu.
It's called horror fu.
Horror kung fu. Like I don't know. And even that might push it. Like I don't know. Like it's just there's a whole new genre for this type of movie, honestly, because it's not like your typical Conjuring, sinister. It's definitely not that. It definitely has that, but it's not that. It's hard to explain, but you guys have to go check this movie out. You really do.
I think they did a good job of finessing us with the supernatural side of the movie.
Yes.
I loved that aspect. I loved every aspect of this movie. I'm not going to cap with you guys. You guys know if we don't like a movie, we will let you guys know. This movie, we loved it. This movie was great. I really hope you guys check it out. That's all we got to say about this movie, to be honest. We've been talking. I'm surprised we even had this much to say about the movie.
Yeah,
because I thought we were going to be.
We even went live.
Yeah. This is one of the. We had to even just wait outside the theater for a little bit and just really talk about how good this movie was because it was just next level. But yeah, we appreciate all of you guys that tuned in, not only for the ones that those of you who tuned in for our spoiler section and those of you that tuned in for our non-spoiler section. We appreciate you. If you guys are watching this on the playback because you came back after watching the movie, we appreciate you guys a lot because you guys are awesome for coming back to continue where you left off. We really appreciate that. Make sure you guys drop a like. Comment on the video. Let us know how you feeling about this movie. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes. Also, be sure to follow us on all of our social medias at MarvelBros23 on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and our YouTube channel. We post all things, everything, all of our stuff for you guys to enjoy. And again, go check this movie out at your local theater and or HBO Max. This movie is also streaming on HBO Max. So, Akash, you don't need to go to a movie theater to watch the movie.
You can check out Malignant right now, brother. Right now, brother.
On HBO Max. So, and I think I don't want to get on a whole nother tangent. We'll save that for the video. But thank you guys. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, we definitely will see you guys all tomorrow when we go live with our pop culture news update. Like we do every Sunday. You guys are awesome. Make sure you check out our website, www.marvelbros.com, to donate or purchase any merchandise that you might have. And also join our Discord with the link in the description box, as well as the comment section down below. Once again, we appreciate you guys for tuning in with us and chilling with us and talking with us. You guys are awesome. And catch you on the next one.
Yep. Peace.
Excelsior.
Marvel Bros. Pop Culture News Updates are now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. You can also watch Marvel Bros live every Sunday on Facebook.com, or you can watch them on YouTube where we upload regularly. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Marvel Bros 23 to keep up with all things Marvel and everything pop culture.